The views expressed on this podcast are that of the host. This topic of UFOs is full of governments, charlatans, thieves, and loads of shit. For your listening enjoyment, put on your tinfoil hat, turn off all the lights in the home, and sit in complete silence because the probe is armed. Don't be scared if you're touched. Lastly, the UFO talk is explicit and your virgin mind is about to get fried. Let's get the show started.
This is the Tempest Universe.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the Tempest Universe. God damn, this mic is loud. I'm your host, Manny, and it's Monday, but some of us had a holiday today. Well, not exactly a holiday. You know, you're supposed to. It's a day of remembrance, but still, a lot of us did not work in the U.S. A lot of us did. So for those of you who had a shitty ass Monday, this episode is dedicated to you. What can I say? Looking at the news for this topic of ufology, apparently we've got some sightings, like a lot of weird shit too. A lot of weird sightings. And, our buddy Pareidolia Pete is back at it again. Gotta love Pareidolia Pete. He is forever entertaining and really should get a job with JPL to figure out what the hell Percy's looking at on Mars. To be honest, I think he'll call it. He will call it right on the money. But, JPL jobs are hard to come by these days. Unless you started out with the Nazis. Or related to Nazi scientists, to get you in somewhere. I mean, I'm just being honest. Anyway, so this is the day that we're going to cover some UFO stories. We're going to cover warnings to the military. We're also going to cover the an incident with one of the Inspiration4 crew members. It's not the toilet. It's not the broken shitter. For sure, that's not it. I thought something else happened. So we'll talk about that. And then I have a story out of New Zealand, which it's been a while since we've seen UFO stories out of New Zealand. So I'm really excited about that one because it had a bit of a turn in it. And, man, surprising that this individual decided to keep an open mind. Some people just don't, right? Some people are just like freaking stuck. They will do what they believe no matter what. And it's not until they get shock and awe that they decide, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I need to rethink these things. Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe you should. But as usual, we're going to start off with a track today. The music also is all over the place. So if you complain, please pull the tab attached to the grenade, and we'll get back to you. I promise you.
Let me go, let me say everything is not okay. Can't recognize you anymore. Nothing's like it was before. Oh, 'cause I can understand you, darling. Feels like I never be enough. If you could only understand me and show me that you want my love. We keep running from the pain. Don't wanna stay this way. Are we still the same? Nobody is the same.
Here's an article from our buddy that we haven't heard from him in a very, very long time, and that's Gussie Waring, Pareidolia Pete, and he's commenting on some strange sightings out over Las Vegas, Nevada, on October the 4th. Now, mind you, I have no idea how he has so much damn information. Like, he knows so damn much. It's hilarious. But there were apparently some dark cubes that were spotted floating over two separate areas over the United States. One of them, of course, the infamous Area 51 facility out in Nevada. And so automatically, our buddy Scotty Waring has answers for us because everybody wants to know, what are these things? Now, the actual fucking eyewitness to the cube says he wasn't sure what it was, but he knew it wasn't an airplane. He knew it wasn't a helicopter. And for damn sure, he knew it wasn't a cube drone. But then enter Scotty Waring to give us his UFO analysis of the situation. Basically, he says, number one, the guy caught what's known as a dark UFO. I love it. Across Nevada. And he says the object was seen over Las Vegas, and it was near Nellis Air Force Base. He says that the base, again, I don't know how you know this, but the base is notorious for giving the tall white aliens some land behind an old firing ridge back in the mountain range. And then he says that doesn't look like the tall white technology. How the fuck does he know this? How does he know the difference between tall white technology, technology being tested at Area 51, and who the hell is controlling these dark cubes? That makes no damn sense. He also says their ships usually glow white. Well, I mean, white aliens, white glow. What the fuck do you want? I mean, that makes so much sense in the world, to be honest. It's just, I don't know what to do with Scotty Waring sometimes. He says the dark cube UFO is something to see. It's ominous, looking down at everyone, basically watching us. He says because Area 51 is not so far away, it turns out the aliens in the dark cube have tons of interest in the secret base. And that's 100% proof that aliens are watching, and not just watching us, but they're watching and putting up a warning for the United States military that they know what's happening. They're keeping tabs on them. There was another sighting on September the 28th in Vineland, New Jersey, and apparently it happened during a lightning storm. The actual witness claimed that the cube appeared during some cloud cover, but there was like a lightning storm that was silent. What the fuck is a lightning storm? Let me just say this one more. A lightning storm. There was no thunder at all. It was just lightning only. So the individual decided to film it. I mean, what can you do? What else would you do? A cube, UFO, dark, and a lightning storm. That's just crazy. Out in New Jersey. So is there a connection to the two? I don't know. But according to Scotty Waring, he says that it's well-known fact among UFO researchers that UFOs cause natural disasters. I don't know. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but he says they can also cause lightning. To what end, nobody knows. But when you see lightning and you don't hear thunder, chances are the UFOs are in the area. A lot of times their speeds increase and the movement often becomes erratic and unpredictable. So according to him, from what he can assume, from what happened over in Nevada and New Jersey, the UFOs were creating lightning in order to harvest some of its energy and special particles of energy in order to power up the craft. Yeah, power up the craft. I don't get it. Here's another thing that Scotty Waring is great at: knowing everything about UFOs. He knows about Mars. He has that great pareidolia eye. He can spot some lady sitting somewhere, or a rat running around the Martian surface. And I think he's even spotted reptilians. But for fuck's sake, why do we need a UAP report? Why do we need anybody researching anything? Why do we need MUFON? When we've got Scott C. Waring available and ready to give us answers to everything. Like literally. Like I had no idea that a white hot flying object was white aliens. Where does he get this stuff? How does he come up with this? I don't understand. And he says all the researchers know about this. What researchers? Most of them don't even want to associate with Scott C. Waring. Oh, Pareidolia Pete. But crazy. Now for you guys who were in Nevada, did you catch a glimpse of this cube UFO? Honestly, when I saw this, I said, hey, they're just here a week early. They're trying to find a good spot in order to see Locutus take off tomorrow on the Phallus. That's the only thing I can think about, right? They're here to watch Captain... Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? That's not even Captain Kirk. That's Picard. Well, maybe the Borg is here anyway to capture Captain Kirk, too. Freaking crazy. Now, I've seen a couple of hot air balloons that do look like cubes. So, and I can definitely see a bunch of people having like these hot air balloon festivals out in Nevada. And yeah, there could be a fucking balloon out there. It looks like a UFO. Maybe they just didn't see the basket hanging under it with all the 10 people with the cameras. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure UFOs come in all shapes and sizes, but the cube just doesn't seem right. But for fuck's sake, if Pareidolia Pete says that those are not white aliens, and so they're not associated with Area 51, no, what the fuck you can do? You just go with it. So who the fuck is driving the dark cube alien ships? I feel like Pareidolia Pete might be a little racist. I'm just saying.
I see something, it's coming up on the horizon. Oh, let me clear my head and get rid of the distractions. Oh, I was down when I saw you in the clouds. Out of phase, filled with doubt. I was drifting in and out, levitate, fade away. I had left full time and space, but you just caught my eye. Hey, nah, please won't you come over? Let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment. Let your mind be free. Stop holding back, 'cause you can fight it. Oh, I don't know your name, but something in me has ignited. Oh, I was down when I saw you in the clouds. Out of phase, filled with doubt. I was drifting in and out, levitate, fade away. I had left full time and space, but you just caught my eye. Hey, nah, please won't you come over? Let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment.
this asshole.
By the way, if you want to read more about the Dark Cube, the link is in the description. Go ahead and check it out. This one is a little bit cooler, I think. It is 8 first-hand accounts of UFO sightings in Horry County. Horry is in South Carolina. And actually, I picked 2 out of the 8. If you want to see the other 6, go ahead and check it out in the actual article that's there for you in the description as well. Now, it's funny, though, because the majority of these are in Myrtle Beach. What the hell? What's going on in Myrtle Beach? I almost feel like one of the sightings, one of the CE5 situations happened in Myrtle Beach for some reason. I might be wrong. It might have happened in Florida. But damn, what the hell's going on? Craziness. Now, this is all this year. These sightings happened in Myrtle Beach. The first one was May 24th, 2021. And the end of it, everybody's on fucking vacation. Let me just start. Let me just say this. If you go to Myrtle Beach, I guess you're on vacation permanently. That's all you do there. It's kind of like going to South Beach or, you know, St. Pete Beach or Clearwater out in Florida. Like, you go to Myrtle Beach, I'm going to say this. Like, when I'm on vacation, most of the time I'm intoxicated, so I will see a UFO, I'm pretty sure. And this might be what's happening here. I don't know. But this individual, around 9 p.m., the whole family was out at the resort sitting at the balcony. It was a beautiful night. The sky was clear. And the moon was almost full. And they say that out of the blue, they noticed 2 orange orbs. For some reason, orbs are really popular, especially the orange ones. I have no idea why. It's either orange or a fiery red. Who knows? But they notice these lights, and apparently it's the matriarch of the family. So she turns to her husband and says, "Look, what is that?" You know? And what she says is that by the time the husband turned around to look, there were now 3 orbs. A third orb just came out of nowhere. She says that the first 2 orbs made a straight horizontal line. Like, you literally could just, you know, do your air finger and connect them together. And the third orb was just a little bit off to the right slightly. That's the oddball, you know, the ugly duckling of the orbs. They didn't want to hang out with the other ones. So she screamed to her family, "That was a UFO!" Okay. Now, as soon as the husband got his eyeballs set on these 3 orbs, the third light disappeared, and then the other 2 disappeared together. What the hell? That is freaking nuts. She says that they are very open-minded, I'm sure you are, and that they watch a lot of shows about UFOs and Bigfoot, you know, so maybe Bigfoot will be the next sighting for them. Where the husband is totally the opposite. Complete skeptic, doesn't believe in any of that shit. He'll watch the shows just so he doesn't get in trouble, but otherwise, he's not with it. He said that he came up with a logical explanation, but they don't even have it here. They continue to say they both are college educated, they make a good living, and basically what she's saying is that even her husband thought it was strange and was not trying to explain it away, because usually he does. So, fascinating. I don't know what the deal is with orbs. See orbs in sightings all the time. Hell, even in the Skinwalker Ranch series, there's a lot of orb sightings. I don't know what the fuck orbs are. It makes no sense to me. These things are everywhere. But is it a trick of the old eyeball or the alcohol while you're on vacation? I don't know. It's very possible. Now, I don't think the guys over at Skinwalker Ranch are getting hammered every night, especially when things can go wrong really quickly at Skinwalker Ranch. But, you know, out there, the orbs that they report are not very nice. They're not very nice orbs. They do some serious shit. So, orbs are a thing. I personally have never seen an orb. So, if you've seen an orb, let me know what your thoughts are and what happened with the orb. I mean, people see orbs in paranormal settings when it comes to haunted areas and UFOs as well. Now, no one in this sighting thought that in any way these were either drones or airplanes or helicopters. There wasn't any report of noise. So fascinating story out of Myrtle Beach. Now we're going to go to North Myrtle Beach, January 20th, 2021. Again, someone was on a balcony, probably drunk, on the oceanfront hotel room, observing the Orion constellation in the northeastern sky. Like, they know what the hell they're talking about. They don't fuck around. They know what constellation they're looking at. So that just tells you they know what those dots are. When they saw 4 orange orbs aligned within the aura or cloudy background of a larger figure that appeared over the ocean. What the hell? What could be over the ocean? According to this experiencer stargazer out of North Myrtle Beach, these orbs eased through the sky and seemed to be approaching the beach when they quickly accelerated, darted off to the left, and its light was abruptly extinguished. This also reminds me of several movies in which you see these orbs just coming out of everywhere. But that's all you do. You see them just like in these sightings. They never really do anything. They don't really interact with people. They just fly around. It is really strange, this whole orb thing. A lot of people think these might be coming through dimensions. That they're not necessarily man-made, but they might be interdimensional travelers. According to this person, a few minutes later, they appeared again over the ocean, where they hovered and then seemed to go really fast towards the beach before, again, accelerating and turning. And again, they turned off, but they made no noise. Their light was extinguished, as they say. Again, some weird patterns when it comes to orbs. We've also heard about orbs coming down and zipping in zigzag motion over the ground, like if they're looking for something. It almost sounds like this thing was, or these things, were actually looking for something, the way they were going out to the ocean and coming back to the beach. So who knows? Who knows what the hell it is? This individual, who is a stargazer, spent 10 years in the Navy working in the special intelligence and cryptology communities. 3 years at sea on an aircraft carrier, so very familiar with military aircraft and Navy ships and vessels. And again, didn't hear any engine sounds, never seen anything like this before. So their mind is made up that this is a real UFO sighting. I mean, how can you deny it? This is what people like to call a credible witness when it comes to UFO sightings. So they've got the experience. Hell, they know what the hell they're looking at in the sky if they can call out fucking constellations and things like that. So come on. There are 6 more of these in this article which you can look at. And I think there's actually 2 more that happened off of Myrtle Beach. So who knows what's happening off the coast of Myrtle Beach? There might be a big underground base of something for them to have so many orbs, and especially orbs that hover over the ocean. Really fascinating, I think. But, some of that could be attributed to having a really good time while you're on vacation. Check out the link in the description, especially if you're out there in the Carolinas and you want to figure out where you got to go to get a good UFO sighting and probing. Because apparently the orbs are the thing out there.
Oh, when you look at me like that, I swear that something in the air so vibrant. Now I'm just pointing I swear there's nothing that could stop me, baby. Oh, I would fight for just your time. Oh, it's just something about your way now. You keep looking so good, looking at me, making me feel like I do it all for you. Looking so good, looking at you, babe. Hey, I think I'm into you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. Wanna get it close with you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. You make me wanna put my roots down. You make me wanna put my roots down. Try. We could try. You make me wanna put my roots down. You make me wanna put my roots down. Try. Yeah, we could try. Hey, I think I'm into you. You made me wanna put my roots down. Made me wanna put my roots down. Yeah. Wanna get in close with you. Made me wanna put my roots down. Made me wanna put my roots down. Down, diddy, down. Hey, I think I'm into you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. Wanna get in close with you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. You make me wanna put my roots down. You make me wanna put my roots down. Try. We could try. You make me wanna put my roots down. You make me wanna put my roots down. Try. Yeah, we could try. Make me wanna put. I put my roots down. Make me wanna put. I put my roots down. Make me wanna put. I put my roots down. Make me wanna put. I put my roots down.
The next article is about our Inspiration4 crew member, Dr. Cyan Proctor. And, apparently the doc felt the effects of being in weightlessness. Listen, I could imagine you could get sick really quick being in weightlessness, especially for 3 fucking days. Are you serious? You gotta reorient your whole body. Honestly, I feel like they all should have been sick. Well, except for, I can see maybe there's 2 of them that would not be sick. But yeah, for her, who didn't have that kind of experience, definitely not behind flying planes and stuff like that, I can see how she could have gotten sick. She actually was sick 2 out of the damn 3 days that they spent in space. I mean, shoot, get your money back. Just tell them you want your money back. I mean, could you imagine that? Like, she's like, I finished my... I'm trying to... You know, when you heave up like that and stuff comes up and you swallow it back down, because I mean, you can't throw it up. Shit, the toilet was barely working. Just gotta swallow it. And then you get... Yeah. She literally was, had motion sickness the entire first day. The second day, she says her head was stuffy. It wasn't stuffy, girl. You know, the reason why it was stuffy was because the shitter was on the brinks, and they had to fix the fan because, as you know, it needs to be sucked out. All the turds and urine need to be sucked out, and the fan was not working. So the crew had to jump in and fix it. So then on day 3, she felt great. She's like, hey, serious, what do you need me to do? Literally. She spent 2 days sick, and she's actually saying that she feels like she wants to go up again and for a longer trip. I don't know what the hell she's going to do. I mean, she's What is she going to do? I don't understand. It would be fascinating to see if any of these guys that were on any of these, private citizen missions, if they ever get to go back up again. Because a lot of this really feels like it's a kind of like a publicity stunt, right? Trying, especially between Bezos and Musk. It feels like I'm just gonna one up you. So tomorrow Bezos is gonna raise the bar. He's gonna have a 90-year-old superstar up in space, which the Borg cubes are looking for. So what's gonna be next for the Crew Dragon? I mean, Elon's got to do something to one up old Bezos, who basically most of the people in his company are leaving in droves. But anyway, so she says, she really could, she would love to be up there for a longer mission, like maybe a 5-day mission in the Dragon Crew capsule, because of the cupola window, which is a weird thing. So at the end of at the top of the Crew Dragon, they put this dome. It was a glass dome, and they could actually open from the inside and go up to the dome, and they look like prairie dogs. And they can go up there and look around, take pictures and video and things like that. The bad news is that the toilet was actually somewhat attached to where the cupola was actually, so they had to close the dome in order to go to the shitter, which was broken for a bit. And so, yeah, she feels that if she had a 5-day mission, it would really be the best. It would be completely perfect, especially with the dome there, because some of the views they saw were magnificent. And I have not seen too much in the way of pictures. I don't know why. This is really strange. But apparently Dr. Proctor has been talking to National Geographic, so I'm sure there is going to be some kind of a special somewhere, or a special magazine issue, dedicated to what they captured. I know that the Netflix series that had to do with the Inspiration4, sorry. They finally put out their last episode last week, and really it is, the day of liftoff, some video from them inside of the Crew Dragon, and then the actual landing. They did a great job with that docuseries, to be honest. You've got to check it out. Now, they didn't catch anything of that or any of that or even this. None of that was caught. Like, you did not see anybody having problems on the shitter. But what you did see, and you could tell if you watch this series, you could tell she wasn't feeling well because she was thoroughly annoyed with other people that were around her. You could see it in the actual video. At first I thought, maybe she's just not happy-go-lucky. She's excited to be there, but would rather be alone. But now that we hear this story, it all comes together. You've got to watch the docuseries on Netflix, and you'll see she's not necessarily happy-go-lucky the whole time. And yeah, you could see where maybe around the 3rd day, things relax for her. But imagine being sick. Imagine being sick 3 days in space. There is nowhere you can go. You're pretty much stuck there. Worst case scenario, they never got the shitter fixed. And then what do? Then what happens? 3 days up there? Fuck no, I don't want to be there 3 days. I wonder if that's an emergency where you would have to bring down the Crew Dragon immediately. Because what are they going to drop it at? I don't think I ever want to find out. I don't think anybody wants to find out. To be honest, that is just crazy nuts. According to her, she said on the first day she was humming. The 3rd day she was humming. She was feeling perfect, and she adapted really quick. And they attribute everything to motion sickness, which apparently a lot of astronauts experience, especially in their first couple missions, where you just you got to reorient yourself to not having gravity there to help you out. Just everything's flying free, to be honest. So what can you do? It's cool to see these things from the perspective of a regular person, a blue collar person, somebody that has never experienced this before, and sharing their insight as to what it is to be in space. Because I could imagine that many of the people listening, that eventually, whether it is your children or your grandchildren, some of them will be touched by the space program in one way or another. I know a lot of people in Texas will eventually have relatives that work for companies like Blue Origin or even Elon Musk and SpaceX, and even Virgin Galactic if you're towards the central part of Texas. So it's good to see these things. It's inspirational. So they kind of named that Crew Dragon appropriately, but it's inspirational for the future, and I'm glad I got to at least see this happen. So hopefully you guys are as well. We're going to our last article out of New Zealand. Can I see that Dave from Down Under is here? So maybe he could relate to this. I mean, it's not like he's visits New Zealand that often, I'm sure. But hey, why not? Check this out.
Down at the bar, fiddle tunes and homemade booze, but it always goes too far. Shooting pool, crack a jack, take off now and don't look back. But hey, don't you wanna play? Hold on, sugar, why you look so sad? Come on now, mama, ain't nothing here so bad. You got fast cars, movie stars, party on down the street with Mary Jane, good cocaine, plenty down there to eat. You can double down, throw some dice, you can take off now, don't think twice. But hey, don't you wanna play? Baby, come on. Tell me where you wanna go. But baby, I don't work down there anymore. No, I don't. Come on now, mama, don't you hesitate. Grab my hand, well we land. I got the champagne. We can knock it back, get on track, jump on and ride this thing. Double down, roll the dice, take off now, don't think twice. Hey, don't you wanna play? Say hey.
By the way, just to remind you guys, on Saturday, it'll be a Dark Horde YouTube episode. And so tomorrow, I'm going to start my little campaign to try to get someone or a couple of groups that are into the ghost hunting situation that can share some of their craziest stories. But with that said, if you have a lot of ghost stories you want to share, or you've had a lot of experiences, come on by. The link will be out there in social media. And you'll be able to join us and share some of your stories. And heck, there is nothing better than a good scary story, especially when it happens to people you know, to be honest. So come share your stories. Hopefully we can get some ghost investigators, paranormal investigators to come on and tell us some of their crazy stuff. So I guess this is going to be our one Halloween episode, to be honest, because I don't think I'll be around for Halloween. But anyway, I think it's Dre's birthday. I'm pretty sure of it. So this particular article comes, I believe it comes out of New Zealand. Not 1,000% sure. The news outlet that covered it is out of New Zealand. It's called Stuff. I mean, what else would it be, right? Stuff. Marlborough farmer apparently saw a glowing. That's almost the end of the podcast because bugs started snoring. A glowing, rotating sphere in the night sky, and remained skeptical that the unusual phenomenon was just Venus through the clouds. Thanks, bugs. The guy's name is Richard Patterson. He believed that what he saw was a light, an unusual, like a UFO, not a planet, because it moved. It moved in ways he could not explain. He says, I had lined it up with the top of my window frame, and it was definitely moving. Not in a way a planet would move. Patterson's partner, Liz, she actually captured the situation on a cell phone, and this was last Wednesday. And the couple said that they tried to recreate the footage, thinking it might be the second rock from the sun, but they haven't been able to. So they actually sent the footage to Stuff, the Stuff outlet, and they actually turned around and sought the opinion of an astronomer at the University of Canterbury, and they actually got a hold of planetary astronomy lecturer Dr. Michelle Bannister. But we know how this is going to go. Let's be honest. You fucked up. Like, you don't go to a scientist with stuff like this because they will explain it away. They really will. And, as usual, Dr. Bannister said, after looking at the video, she was pretty damn sure that light was Venus. She says that the planet was west of the location of where the farmer lived at that very time, at that moment. And it was particularly bright that night, enough to shine through the clouds, which could make stars and planets appear to be moving. Now, I don't know if you're using the freaking frame of your window as a point of reference. I don't know how the fucking cloud is going to make the planet move, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a planetary astronomy lecturer, so I have no idea what that, I don't know what I'm talking about. She continues to say this, that the videos just tell you that the camera was pointed at a point of light. The camera optics make an unresolved point of light look like that they're moving, and that it's not spherical, as one of them mentions, though I can see why they'd be describing it in that manner, because they wouldn't have had any experience with optics doing that type of anomaly in the past. I don't know. I mean, really, what else would you expect? If you send it to a scientist and you're expecting to hear them say, yep, it's UFOs, you're not going to hear that. It's just not going to happen. Never. You can have a picture. You can have some metamaterial. You can say it dropped a shitload of metamaterial in your front yard while it was cruising at about 5 miles an hour and it took off at light speed. They will not believe you. You can just forget about it. But the farmer was not too happy about that. He says, a satellite doesn't move like that. Drones don't move like that. Don't even have a light strong enough to break through the clouds. What's fascinating about the story was that he said that the couple felt uneasy. They felt like this just wasn't right. And that they knew it wasn't, they weren't saying that it was a flying saucer or men in silver suits, but they said they definitely was something they could not identify. The funny thing is that they took the time to, do their own little experiment. They took measurements. They didn't you didn't go at this like half-cocked, to be honest. So it's fascinating that they basically got shut down by the professor over there. So no fucks are given. The Stuff also reached out to the Defense Force spokesperson. They confirmed there were no military aircraft in the area at that time. Like, these guys really went out. They also contacted the Civil Aviation Authority that actually issues permissions for drone flights, but they weren't able to confirm if the Patterson sighting was a drone because they approve shit, then they don't keep track of it. That's really helpful. I'm glad that they have a Civil Aviation Authority. That makes all the sense in the fucking world. Patterson said that after hearing Bannister's comments, that he would keep, an open mind about it. But he says, I mean, it's impossible. We're wrong. Here's a quote from him. I did wonder whether the technology was affecting how it looked in the video, but that doesn't explain how much we saw it moving. Listen, if you're trying to, coordinate what you're looking at, try to get some point of reference there, and the shit looks like it's moving, then probably it's moving. You know what I mean? It's really hard to fake that in a way, right? Because if your point of reference is in the frame of your video and the shit moves, well, fuck, chances are it's not a damn planet. But you never know. They might have had technology like flip phone technology that's like, a 2 megabyte picture that's the size of a pinprick when you try to look at it on your phone. So who knows? Who knows what the hell is going on? But apparently, as usual, science disagrees, and our blue-collar person, our farmer, believes otherwise. And then again, you can't take this farmer guy and think that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about just because he's a fucking farmer. These guys work freaking 10, 12, 14 hours? Some of it in the dark. So they should be fairly familiar with the skies around them. And I'm sure they've seen the stars, they've seen the planets. This can't be so much something of him not recognizing the planet Venus, as much as it is science is looking for a one-and-done explanation for what this farmer saw. There's more about this situation down in New Zealand in the link description with the stuff. Maybe you saw the same situation. We do have listeners in New Zealand. Maybe you saw the same UFO, and you can give our farmer Patterson peace of mind that maybe he did see a UFO. That's the end of the podcast. I thank you guys for listening. I'm about 80%. Not 100% yet, but still, we are going to do, the show must go on. So I thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to share, like, and do everything else that you would do in social media. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have some good news about maybe some of our paranormal researchers joining us on Saturday. And I'm telling you, it would be fantastic if we get some in there. It'll be loads of fun. And we could all sit around telling ghost stories because why not? This is the month to do it. Ciao.
Your
time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest